All right, this is Joey Atlas. I am back with another episode of the Fitness Truth Podcast. And instead of another awesome success story, today I've got a special guest. I consider this other Joey, who you can see on video if you're watching this on the YouTube channel. If you're on the audio versions on your favorite podcast player, I urge you to come over to the YouTube channel just by searching my name, Joey the Truth Atlas, and you'll see this as one of the podcast episode videos. Joey, how do we say your last name?
Repiche.
Repiche.
It's been
All right.
mutilated my whole life. So
that's what I thought it was. That's the first thing I said when we met on TikTok. The first pronunciation was Repiche. That's all I could think of, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Joey and I, we are officially spirit brothers. We are soul siblings. God brought us together via TikTok, right?
Yeah.
And a beautiful connection came about. And the main thing we're going to do today is not only tell you the story of how we connected, but the story behind the creation of an awesome product that I would put in the fitness gourmet ingredient category. Hence the reason why we're doing this podcast, so that we could teach people about this fitness gourmet ingredient, the product line, give them access to it, plus a huge, crazy discount code that Joey has extended to all of our viewers, our audience. And add another fitness gourmet item into your nutritional menu arsenal, because that's what we teach our clients. We're not supposed to be doing crazy diets. We're not supposed to be doing wacky, unreasonable eating plans and nut job food prep that takes you all weekend to do and you have no life. No, we simplify things here, and we do that by finding awesome products that make your life better, make your health better, make your life easier, make it more enjoyable, so you never have to be on a diet again. So, Joey Repiche, brother, I welcome you to the podcast. I thank you for making the time for this.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got a lot to talk about, but we're going to do it relatively quickly and give people a large dose of, of a lot of goodness in a short amount of time. So do you remember how we met? Do you remember how we met?
Well, you were up on a live. You were up on a live, and I'm like, this guy's like amazing. Look at the shape that he's in. Like I love like your energy. I just love how like interactive you were with everyone, and just like I was like, I got to get to know this. He's Joey. I'm like, we're on the same page. I'm like, Joey's hot sauce over here and representing. And I was just like, hey, you like hot sauce? And in your D, I was trying to get to your D. It was the first time I tried to slip into your DMs. I think you weren't set up that you can just get it from strangers.
Right.
So it kind of blocked me. So I was like, how am I going to get this guy? So I kept like putting it in your lives. I was typing it, and you were like, message me. We could talk about it. You were like, first off, is it organic?
Yeah.
Do you have any weird stuff in it? I don't want any weird stuff. I'm like, that's me. That's me.
Yes, that's why we're doing this. So keep going.
So I was just like, oh, I can DM him this time. And I DM'd you, and you got back to me, and we had a really awesome phone call and just connected with each other. I was like, we're just two brothers here in the world, just trying to make a difference for people, just trying to make an impact, positively on people's lives. Our partnership, it's a real honor. Like what you're doing is just completely fantastic. And it's a real honor to be on this podcast with you.
Amen. Thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, that was awesome. So I remember that day, and I've had a lot of people like post various kinds of things on the lives and send them via direct message. And like the first thing I asked you once I saw you asking about hot sauce, is it organic? Is there any funky stuff in there? Right. Because to me, that's like one of the main rules of everything I do myself. And we teach all of our clients locally and remotely. And when you said everything's organic, there's no junk in it, I'm like, all right, we might be onto something here. So we explored it, and here we are. So the cool thing is, I never bought any kind of hot sauce in my life, Joey. All right, like it never appealed to me. Now I've had growing up genuine Italian, like we had a arrabbiata sauce, right? Some of the hot and spicy in the marinara sauce, but I never bought hot sauce, even as like a competitive bodybuilder in my younger years, to have something else to spice up my foods. I never was into hot sauce. They didn't appeal to me. And it must have been from some early exposure to them that I kind of looked at them as the same thing as ketchup, but just hot, right? There was nothing appealing about it. To me, it just intuitively, it looked like something on diner tables as another mainstream condiment for regular people, right? As a kid, that was the impression I got, right? And so that always stuck with me.
And
And
that funny thing about that, sorry to like throw myself in here, is that
yeah,
I'm the same as you, Joey. You know, like I I was an Italian boy. Like we didn't have, we grew up with hot sauce,
right,
you know,
right.
and it was really my wife who was like looking for a hot sauce out there. I wasn't, it wasn't part of my lifestyle. Like, what the hell did you doing starting a hot sauce brand? Um, you know, it
Yeah,
was a need my wife had, you know,
right.
so that's what like got me into it. And I was looking at all the hot sauces and saying, oh, they
Hmm.
got like fillers and binders and
Right,
sugar. And,
right.
you know, she was avoiding all that. And I was like inspired using my mom from Calabria's, like, you know, roasting all the
Yes,
peppers to like that caramelization, just using all these techniques
yes.
to just really get in there and just create something special for my wife Lisa, and
Amen.
that's what inspired the brand. You know, just like you're saying, like I didn't come from a background of hot sauces, so
Right.
I think I had a fresh approach to
Yes.
making the product. It wasn't like I wasn't emulating anybody's hot sauce out
Right,
there. I
right.
was just trying to do my thing, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. And that's what I love about this, because to me, like, this actually transcends hot sauce. Like, this isn't your regular hot sauce. This is
Thank you.
so anyway, so let me take, so you sent out some samples like you promised, right? And I got the bottles, I opened them up and I'm reading the ingredients. I'm like, man, this guy's not kidding. Like, this is all organic. There's no garbage in here. And I'm like pumped up because I'm like, I look for this stuff, but it's
Yeah,
hard, very hard to find
yeah,
needles in a haystack, right?
I know
And
it.
so that's part of my life journey. That's part of how I teach people. I'm always looking for special things out in this vast sea of freaking endless product offerings in the supermarkets, online, these big grocery chains, the small ones. Like, and my clients, our app members, our video on demand users, they look to me for, okay, you know, there's this huge sea of confusion out there. You tell me what products fall under the truth, right? That's where my middle name
Mhm.
comes from, the truth,
Yeah,
right? Because they just want the
true
truth. You
facts.
come,
That's
right?
right.
So you sent it, opened it, looked at it. I'm like, oh man, I think we might be onto something. Even just looking at it in the bottle, you could see, oh, there's something different in this bottle, like without even
Yeah.
tasting it, right? So I tasted the first night. I'm like, oh man, this is good. This is not hot sauce. This is something really, really special. Like all the
Thanks, man.
flavor of the roasted peppers and the cleanliness of them and the freshness and the multi-dimensionality, not just of the heat, but
Mhm.
of what it's made from.
Flavor.
It's all
Yeah.
there. It's like, wow, this is too good. I'm like, all right, we got
Thank
a
you.
winner. We got a winner here. So the next night, I took one of the bottles over to my parents. As I told you, they live 3 blocks over. And my parents, they're not hot sauce eaters, but they do like some kick in some dishes, right?
Mhm.
So that hence the red pepper is a staple in the Italian kitchen, the dried red pepper, arrabbiata
Yeah.
sauce. So my mom's like, oh, that looks interesting. And she's from Calabria, Soverato. Cooking is their life, I don't have to tell you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she tries it on something and she says, whoa, this isn't regular. This is
Wow, that's such an
special.
honor.
Yeah, she was, and she's critical too. Like she'll tell you this,
I believe me.
right?
I used to take my mom out to dinner, and we used to think it was like the finest, you know, Italian restaurant. She would eat. She'd be like, "Eh."
Yeah, yeah, right.
With
Nothing
these.
special.
And then when I was a kid, I used to get upset. Mom, come on, we just got you a great dinner. But then, you know, in hindsight, she was right. Her cooking was superfluous to anything we had out in restaurants. So I
Yeah,
get it. Let's
it's
just I put that in there because I get where your mom, and for to
amen.
impress these Calabrian moms is like a
Yes.
trophy, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like a big
absolutely.
trophy.
So I was like, oh man, she's giving this the thumbs up. She said you can taste the roasted peppers in with that heat that's coming through for that kick. She said, I've never tasted anything like this. She said, this is a hot sauce I would eat. And they're
Mm,
not hot sauce people. All right.
yeah,
So
happens a
I've
lot
been
with
enjoying
my
it.
audience.
Yeah,
It happens a lot with people like
I get
that,
it.
people that come to the farmers markets, they're like, I don't like, I'm like, just try it. And I'm like, and they just go for it. And they're like, oh my God, they have to have it, you know?
Yes, yes, I get it. So I've been enjoying it almost every night. We're gonna get to the health benefits. We're gonna get to how people can get it. We're gonna get to the new products you're coming out with to add to the line, and then we'll share the website and the huge discount code. Um, First, I want to say I've been using it on eggs. I've been using it
Mm.
on various types of fish. I've
Oh, yeah.
I've dropped it in some organic beef stir fry mix.
Perfect.
I put it in some of my bean dishes, like bean soups and bean like I'll do like a bean saute. It goes in some of
Hmm.
there.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and I'm still finding you can use it on almost anything for dinner or for lunch. Like
Yeah.
even if you don't use a tablespoon or a teaspoon, you could put literally like a quarter of a teaspoon or a tablespoon in something, and it adds another
Livens
dimension
up
to
your
it.
dish. Yeah.
Yes,
It's like a
yes,
cooking companion. It's a total cooking
absolutely.
companion.
Absolutely. So I'm really excited about this, not just for me for having like a hot sauce, finally discovering one in my early 50s that I'm going to have for the rest of my life for sure, but also
Mm.
sharing it with other people to add to their arsenal. Now, okay, so it adds flavor, minimal calories. Let's talk about some of the various peppers that are in the main products. Why don't you share
Yeah, so
that?
the major four peppers that are kind of the base, not outside of some other sauce that I'm about to make and the seasonal sauces, because I make like seasonal sauces and I
Mhm.
also make like the specialty sauces. So outside of that, it's habanero, poblano, mini sweet peppers, and jalapenos.
Mhm.
Those are the four anchored peppers.
Right.
And the sweetness comes from those mini sweet peppers,
Mhm.
those tiny little
Yes.
bells. And that's why I roast those. And it's funny too, because I don't use any color, no binders,
Right.
no fillers. So like the color spectrum of my sauce will change.
Yes.
And I try to explain to people because we have a culture of people wanting things to be like consistent. That like they pick up the bottle and they want it to look a certain
Always
way. And
looks
I'm like,
exactly the same.
they want it to be exactly the same. And I'm like, okay, this is a pro that my sauce is going to vary in color because the rainbow spectrum of my sweet peppers will vary. I'll get some yellow ones more and some orange, and then I'll get
Right.
some red and some orange. So it'll slightly vary. The change of
Yeah,
the
that's
color will be there. The
nature's
flavor's still
design.
there.
Right.
The
Right.
flavor's still there. It still like delivers, but the color spectrum will vary.
Right.
And I try to explain people that's a good thing,
Yes,
is we have to,
absolutely.
almost just open people's minds to that because it's nature,
It's very
it's
natural.
that's
It's
what
very natural.
nature intended it to be.
Yes,
It's not.
yes. And
There's
you're
no number five in there. There's no red number five. You don't have to
exactly,
worry about that.
exactly. Your recipes are not a standardized formula where they have to be exactly the same in color and for branding purposes and for trust. No, the trust comes from these things being so clean and natural that there is some variability in the color of it from batch to batch, right? From
Yeah,
product to product,
yeah.
which is beautiful. I love it. And to me, that adds authenticity and to me that's a beneficial feature
Mm.
to to a product, to see that, to know that. And I think as people learn more and more about proper natural products, proper natural ingredients, that there should be some variability expected when they're looking inside the packaging, when they're looking in a jar, when they're looking in a bottle, that's actually normal and to be
Yeah,
expected.
it can't be like dramatically
Right.
different,
Right.
like unrecognizable to the flavor palette.
Yes.
There's always going to be slight variance because the peppers come in. Sometimes the seasonal peppers come in slightly hotter, and we
Right.
try to maintain like the consistency on that experience.
Right.
But as far as the color, that's a great thing that it's not just constantly being the same color. We're not trying to like a lot of sauces will add color because they're trying to like sell the product by its color, this like visual stimulation.
Right.
I think the natural stimulation is what I'm gravitated towards because I know what's in the product, and that's what I want to try to educate everyone about like why my sauce is completely different than
Absolutely.
the other products that are out there. We
Yeah.
go as far as like charring poblanos too, so we
Hmm.
oven roast everything.
Right.
That's not that common in a hot sauce.
No, no way.
Believe
That's
me,
that's super rare.
I looked into it. I looked into like other facilities that, maybe we were thinking about expanding, and every other facility is like, oh no, we just put it in a pot and we throw a blender on it. I'm like, that's not going to come out the same. I'm like,
No,
no, thank you.
no.
And I also do a laborious thing of like hollowing out the core of the habaneros for a lot of the sauce, because the core is where all the capsaicin is,
Yes.
and I like heat, but I like flavor
Right.
primarily, and I like to maintain the control of the heat. And by
Yes.
pulling out the core of the habanero, you get the habanero flavor, because the habanero
Mm.
is a great flavorful hot pepper, but
Yes.
it has pretty intense heat. So I'm like managing that heat with coring out the core of the habanero. So we're doing that. We're charring poblanos, and we're roasting all of the jalapenos and roasting all the mini sweet peppers, and those like that blend and that like style and that approach, we're also using apple cider vinegar, which isn't really that common out there. We're not
Organic,
using
nonetheless, too.
organic,
Yes.
nevertheless. Yes,
Yes.
organic apple cider vinegar,
Yes. Saw
as you
that.
know, has
Yeah.
health benefits.
Absolutely.
Whereas a lot of other white vinegars and other red vinegars, unfortunately, don't as much.
No.
Some more harmful than others, but
Right. And they're not
but
even organic. They're just mass produced regular vinegar. And again,
yeah,
you could taste the roasting of your peppers come through the product. Like once you taste it, it's like, oh man, like there's a lot going on here. It just all comes through. Like, so this is the reason why I love using it, because there's so much goodness concentrated into this little amount of awesomeness. So speaking of awesomeness, let's talk about some of the health benefits of what's delivered in these various types of peppers and ingredients. Do you know some of them offhand?
well, I just know that hot peppers are a good like blood cleaner. It really stimulates the system. It gets the blood flowing in the body. It gets like
Mm-hmm.
the prana going. Just really gives you. It cleans out your system. I I'm a pretty healthy guy. I'm coming on 53. That's next actually this month on June 26th, and
Nice.
I lived a pretty kind of toxic lifestyle in the 90s.
Uh-huh.
Went like complete juice fanatic maybe in the 2000s, and now have like feel like I've found a better balance with like all of the extremes that I was into.
Yes.
And I'm trying to be more, and I'm be educating myself more with you too, Joey. I think you have so much to offer, and
Thank you.
want to embrace that,
Yeah, I'm excited to
and
help you.
so yeah, thank you. You're so generous, and I'm just like looking at that big picture, and I'm realizing that, like what is it about like hot foods? They stimulate the system. It's also a part of like what I feel gives me like a resistance, a stronger immune system.
Yes,
Not to
antioxidant
mention there's
properties,
turmeric and
immune
black pepper
system
in there too.
boosters. Right, right.
No,
That's right.
please go ahead.
Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
got it. You're on the money now. All that is true. You've got supposed anti-cancer properties
Mm,
in all these various peppers. You got the immune boosting, so you got like vitamin C coming in, vitamin A, vitamin D, K1. You get various types of polyphenols in these plant sources. Like that's all Trojan horse right in there, right? And so now
yeah.
we're enjoying eating these things, adding them so that we can get the health benefits, supposed metabolism boosting from what comes into our bodies via all these different peppers. I mean, anybody listening, besides the basics that we just shared, you can go just Google proven health benefits of
Mhm.
peppers, hot peppers, proven benefits of various hot peppers. You can even do the specific ones Joey just mentioned, or look at the
Mhm.
ingredient labels and go look up proven benefits of the X pepper, and you'll see them. Like it's amazing. But as you and I know, Joey, as followers of the Lord, this is divine design. Like God
Mhm.
made the things we need to thrive protect our bodies, protect our health by divine design on here on earth. We just have to be smart enough to consume those things on a regular basis as a lifestyle, right?
Yeah. Yep. Like if you can read it, if without like having to pull out an encyclopedia, then you know it's going to be way better for you than if it's just like this crazy long
Yeah.
genetic, basically
All your ingredients are real
engineered
foods.
product.
Right. All your ingredients on the label, it's all real food stuff, all stuff that I'd eat on a regular basis in various formats. You've just combined these things into one very simple recipe as your foundation of your product line. And it's just like a total winner. So,
Thank you,
all
Joe.
right. So yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for taking the risk, going through the trouble, like having the vision and like going out there and hustling to make this thing a reality. Like this is the stuff we need. Like people don't need garbage. They don't need lies. They don't need fake diet products disguised as something beneficial.
Yeah.
It's actually backfiring on people all
Yeah,
the time.
I call it greenwashing. They do a lot of greenwashing. They know that the public wants something healthy, and then they'll read like buzzwords that are kind of healthy, and then you pick it up and it'll have this buzzword, and then you'll be like, oh, this must be healthy. But if you really look into the label, this is you just got to wake up and read the labels. Jen Smiley's a good friend of mine. She's really all about like looking at deeply
Mm,
into that label, and there's like a lot of information, and
right.
there's even like information that's hidden from the public,
Yes.
because if it just says natural flavors, that's a big like window of like a whole bunch of different items that are inside that.
Yeah.
So, and like,
Yeah. It's funny you mention this. I've seen so next month I'm releasing my first supplement in my all natural supplement line.
oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Living Strength Nutritionals. So I've been in this realm my whole life, and I see the tricks that these quote unquote huge supplement companies, even small ones, they will list certain ingredients that they don't want people to actually see. They'll list them in a different part of the label, and they'll list them like sideways instead of like horizontally so you can read them. And I'm like, look at this, what they're stupid to now. They're allowed to do this, so they're doing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, to circle back, before we get to Mildish Bambino, the new product you're adding, real quick. So you and I were born in 1970. You a few months after me. My birthday was back in March. Yours is coming up in a few weeks. We're both Generation Flex, right? Not Generation X,
Yeah.
Generation Flex. You know that? It is now.
No,
It's
it
Generation
is.
Flex now. I've renamed it. All right. You're in now. You're in. You're going to be 53 like myself. Lisa, your wife, mother to your new child, Luca, is it right?
Luca,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah. Luca
So
Angelico Repice. Yeah,
beautiful. So here's this guy. He's just has a newborn. I've got my older daughter's getting married in a few weeks. All right. So
yeah.
we have a lot in common, but a lot also that we're sharing at different stages of life. So how did you meet Lisa?
Yeah,
Let's touch on
Lisa.
that.
So I used to work at this like high-end fine dine raw food vegan restaurant in Manhattan. It was called Pure Food and Wine. And I came basically started on the bottom of the ponytail and just rose my way up. And I was like the beverage director there, was part of the managing team. And if you really want to watch a crazy documentary that I'm actually featured in all four parts of the series, it's called Bad Vegan. It was a horrible demise of that restaurant, but it was the raw food mecca of Manhattan, and we had like elites and like celebrities and gurus, literally, like
Yeah.
coming into that
Yeah.
restaurant. And Lisa was drawn to that lifestyle, so she would park up with her friend, and she would like sit at the bar, and she would come in with her friend Tony, and I would be like, oh man, this girl's beautiful, she's gorgeous. But I was dating somebody at the time, so I wasn't like hitting on her or anything like that, but I was just like, gosh, she's beautiful. And the funny story about that is that later on, when I was doing another service, I was like playing in like a kirtan like dance party. We were putting on these yoga raves is what we called them. And I reached out to the owner of like a space that we were using. I was like, hey man, can we get a little promotion on this particular show? And he's like, yeah, here, reach out to Lisa Paris. And I'm like, this
Ah,
name's so familiar. And and then I look at her Gmail and then I'm like, I look at her picture and then I typed it in Facebook. I'm like, oh my God, that's the girl that used to sit at the bar. And I was
wow.
single at the time. So I was just like, wow, I invited her to the show. And the funny thing is, like, she was like, she thought I was just asking for more bodies at the show. She was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, no, thank you. She was just being really polite, but she did really good promotion. And I was like, oh, what about tea sometimes? And she's like, sure. And so our tea date became our first date, which
Wow.
became like dinner. And then we went to a concert afterwards. And I had like the best time on our first date, probably pretty much the best time on a date in my entire life. I was like, wow,
Uh,
that was pretty magical. I
love it.
like totally drawn to this incredible woman, and that's
Nice.
how we met. You know?
That's beautiful. I love it. Give her my regards. Does she know about Joey Atlas a little bit?
Oh yeah,
All right.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
I
So
was telling her about it. She's
all right.
excited.
Cool, cool. So you and I have only had one phone call before this. So and I don't want to let this drop. You and I need to follow up about getting you two on the fitness program at home.
Yeah,
All right. So
I'm
we're going to
definitely
make
not
that a
gonna.
point as a follow up. Okay.
That'd be great.
My pleasure. All right. So that's a great story. Thank you for sharing that. I love it. Lisa is a little bit younger than you, right?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
many,
She's
how many
I
years?
actually I think I told him made was she's 40. And
Okay.
I think I told you when we were on the phone 30. I just finished the farmer's market. I was getting sun all day. I'm like, I think I told Tony. I think I told Jody like 30, like no, she's 40 years old, so I
Nice.
have, 13 years on her.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Love it.
Yeah,
All right, cool. This is good. That inspires me, brother. Thank you.
she's an incredible woman. I'm very blessed man.
Yeah, I could tell. I could tell. I get the vibes. And I can't see you with anybody else. I could tell what kind of lady she is. So Bad Vegan, where I'm going to share links to that. Where is Bad Vegan? Where could that be viewed?
You can view that on Netflix actually. It was like
Okay. I'm writing
for a
this
good month.
down. Perfect.
For a good month that was on Netflix. It hit number one for a good month.
All right.
Sarma
Awesome.
was my boss like for many years, and crazy stories that she actually might even relaunch the restaurant. The guy that she married essentially was like she was wiring money. She lost millions of dollars. The restaurant, which was like almost about to go global, just
Mm-hmm.
got derailed and just went. And she even landed in jail,
Oof.
for fraud. So it is a bizarre story. She was just basically coercively controlled, like
Mm.
she became a victim. It's a crazy story, and like she was interviewed. I don't even think she fully processed what had happened to her
Right.
while the interview was going on. So a lot of people, it's a really, divisive story. Some people think that she was in on it, and
Mm.
my thing is like, what is she's in on destroying her life? Like
Right, right.
even though like there was part of me that felt like so betrayed by her. We were committed to making this restaurant extremely successful, and she felt like she had friends, but she didn't open up to anybody, and she just got like more introverted and more kind of isolated and
Mm.
away from the restaurant, and just destroying it, just basically giving all her money to this guy,
Mm.
and with the hopes of some kind of like he created a mystery around her,
Yeah.
him getting a bunch of more capital. It's really a bizarre story. So if you want to watch a crazy story,
Yeah.
what that was part of my life,
Yeah. It sounds interesting. I'm
then
going to share the link.
watch
So
Bad Vegan.
if she decides to go into business again, it's a good, healthy place. We wish them the best and hope for success.
Yeah, yeah,
All right. So
absolutely.
so tell before we give everybody the website and the generous discount code, tell us about Mildish Bambino. I was on the website. I saw that up top. What's the story behind that?
So, my baby boy has been a miracle. My wife and I have been trying for the last 4 years. So Luca's just like this tremendous blessing in our lives. And I always told you, I was raised, Italian, and I remember doing the Ave Maria with my mom
Right.
like for years. But I really I feel like I've rediscovered, Jesus, like most recently and
Amen.
actually even the way that this child came about, like to really feel like the light of Jesus came in for my woman to just get pregnant.
Right.
And because we had a miscarriage and we were thinking like this isn't going to happen.
Mm.
And he came as a blessing,
Yeah.
so I was like, okay, we have to celebrate this baby boy. And sometimes a lot of people, in fact, a lot of people like think my initial sauce, because I have 3 heat levels and then that luxury truffle hot sauce.
That's good
A lot of people
stuff.
think my original sauce is a bit on the hot spectrum for them. And I was like, oh, that let's do I actually thought of this, like this name. These names just pop in my head, like
I get it. I get
Priscilla
it.
the Creeper. That's
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
one of my
Yeah.
sauces. That's the
Yeah.
original sauce. And that just came out of nowhere, just dropped into my head. I was like, in a British accent of all things, I said, Priscilla the Creeper, and I said it out loud to Lisa. And then when I was thinking of a mild sauce, I just thought the Mildish Bambino. And that was even before we even had a baby,
Right.
So I was like, oh, we're bringing the Mildish Bambino on. And I have this super incredible artist that created my logo. His name is Antonio Zito. And he's a close dear friend of mine from back on the East Coast. And so
Nice.
I sent him my picture to get the original. So I
Yeah.
was like, hey, here's some pictures of Luca,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we're gonna throw my glasses on them, and
Nice.
we're gonna create Lil Joey's, the Mildish Bambino.
Love
So
it.
it's gonna be added to the lineup, and hopefully people seem to be pretty excited. So
I
hopefully
can't
the
wait.
launch to that.
I can't wait for that. When I saw that, I was like, "Ooh, this is going to be good." So when is that going to be released?
Um, Latest, I'd rather just say a month,
Okay.
and I think it's sooner, but I'd rather just say a month from the time
Okay.
that we recorded this, which is like June 1st or 2nd.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to that.
So a month from now in
Hey,
July.
all right, awesome. So stand up really quick, show people the logo. This is the logo they're going to see on the website, the bottles, most of the bottles anyway. Beautiful, love it. Thank you. Okay, so what's the exact website that they should go to? And then we're going to give them the big generous discount code as well.
Yeah, joey'shotsauce.com.
Boom.
That's the website. We also are going to be releasing on the website pretty soon. The labels are being finalized for a new item as well. It's my hot honey. People are really enjoying
Yum,
that.
yum,
So
yum.
I have a habanero salt, which I use
Yeah,
this like
that's good stuff.
super
I use that.
wild
It's awesome.
Italian collaborator. You can cook with it. You can
Yeah,
finish salt.
I
It's
do
it's
everything
it's
with it.
great. Yeah, so joey'shotsauce.com. That
Joey'sHotSauce.com.
and
Now here's the discount code. When you go to Joey'sHotSauce.com, they can order anything on the site, right?
anything on the site.
I would just say go for a subscription to, number one, get the best price and have this stuff showing up at your doorstep every month, right?
Yeah. I have to, there's a disclosure on the subscription. So the code wouldn't work on the subscription. So the subscription bases are pretty low. They're like the rock bottom of our price points.
Right.
But if you buy a 3-pack or a 5-pack or a case, you already get a discount. And then if you throw the discount code on top of that, you're going
Awesome.
to be saving the most.
Okay, so
So
that's
yeah,
good.
so yeah, you got like the subscriptions are kind of a different animal,
Right.
but it is a great thing. The subscriptions are great.
Okay,
But
so here's
like
the discount code. So because they're
yeah,
waiting
this
right now with the pen and paper in hand. Atlas 20
yes.
ATLAS 20. Just it's one word. Can they do they need to do uppercase, lowercase? It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't
Okay,
matter.
so
Yeah.
it's Atlas 20, Atlas 20. What is that?
Atlas
20% off their first big order?
20% off everything, So like I said, and what's great about a 3-pack, it doesn't have to be the same sauce. You can,
Yeah,
you can tailor your own 3-pack. So,
right. You
and you
sample
can tailor
different
your own
ones.
5-pack, and there's discounts on those items. And then you throw an additional 20% off, and that will be more closer to your checkout. You'll see that enter discount code
Right.
the closer end of your checkout. So then you can save a total even more percents.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
if you combine the
So
two percentages,
right. So this is a Shopify checkout. I'm familiar with that. A lot of people buy some of my DVDs there. So it's the last stage of the checkout. When you get to the last page of checkout, there's going to be a box where you enter Atlas 20. You apply the discount code. It's going to take 20% off your total first order, not including subscriptions. But this is a cool way to sample as much as you want in the first order, and then come back for subscriptions once you see, all right, we love this stuff. Joey and Joey both are like, great advocates of it. Our coach Joey is saying we need to add this to our menus on a weekly
Joey
basis.
Square.
That's it,
Joey Square here.
So no, this is great. So let me see if I have any other questions. We covered that. I got my notes here. We covered that. We got the movie. We got the health benefits, the website, the discount. So two nights ago, my older daughter who's getting married, my future son-in-law, he plays professional basketball in Europe. And so this most recent season, he played for the Spanish league in Spain. All right. So he just got back from like a 9-month season in Spain, just got back like 3-4 days ago. So they came over, mom and dad's down the road here for dinner. So we all met. I, of course, have the hot sauce out because anything that's being eaten, something's going to get hot sauced. Something's getting Joey's hot sauce on it. So my future son-in-law, Jeremiah, he sees it. He's like, oh, let me try some of that, because he's a hot sauce lover, right?
Oh, nice.
So he puts it on his big plate of pasta, baked penne, meatballs. And he's like, man, this is good.
Awesome.
This is really good hot sauce. So he keeps eyeballing it over there. I've got it near me. He's got his eye on it. And he's like, I knew he was going to ask for it again because he went back for seconds, came back for the bottle. He's like, can I have that bottle again? So another huge fan in the family.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
So we appreciate that very much. All right. So before we go, number one, thank you for making the time for this, Joey. I appreciate you. There's a lot of instantaneous love between us. I know, again, we both believe God brought us together via TikTok to make this connection, because there's a lot of goodness already coming out of this. But please, when the time permits, whether it's tomorrow, tonight, next week, reach out to let me know when I can give you and Lisa specific guidance on using the training videos.
Looking forward to it.
Getting going. I'm not going to pester you. I want you to say, okay, we're ready. What videos should we get started with? And then I'll simply point them out to you. Okay.
Perfect. Looking forward to it. So excited about it, because I want to take my, I feel like I have a pretty good routine, so to speak, in fact, when I was living in LA for a while, I started noticing I was putting on some poundage, and I committed to like 90 jogs in 90 days. And I just like committed. I started looking like my face was getting round. I looked like I was going to be casted in the next Sopranos. I was like, I'm going to go in this direction. I don't want this to happen. So I really stood, and I really made a big impact. So like, that in combination with what you have to offer, I know, it's, I'm doing all right for where I'm at,
not
but
too shabby.
not so shabby, but I still got a little jelly roll in the bottom part of my belly, like I got a 4-pack as opposed to a 6,
Right.
So
we're gonna fix all of that. Trust me. We're gonna make it easy too.
I want to go to the next level with you, Joey. So I'm looking forward to it. I know it's possible with what you lay out. It's more practical. I watch you, and I observe, and I'm like, this is something that, this is more sustainable. It's not, it doesn't look to me like, a crazy fad. I mean, I did a carnivore one time, and I did cut a bunch of weight, but I don't want to just be constantly just eating meat 24/7.
No, you can't. It's not good for you.
It really started messing with my like bowel movements, not to be graphic.
Go
but
figure.
It really
Go
did
figure.
affect it. Yeah. Like, I don't think, it wasn't right. For some people, it's great, God bless them all. But I just really, I'm gravitated towards what you're offering. And I can't wait to really incorporate your workout routines and your diet.
We call it training, Joey. See that we're going to let the mass markets do the workouts. We're going to do the training, because we're in training for life, right? So we're in training. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take care of you.
Absolutely.
Again, reach out, give me a signal, say, hey, look, can we talk about, getting me on a little daily program? And maybe even if Lisa wants to, I'm happy to talk to her and get her like
Yeah.
on the right videos and just make them part of her day that fits in with Luca's schedule and such, so that
Yeah,
it's
it's
easy for
awesome.
her and easy for you. And it's all doable at home. Or when you guys are traveling, you could do all this stuff when you're traveling too. So
Yeah. Looking
that's the
forward to
different
it,
thing.
man. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. All right, I can't wait. I'm pumped up. Get your before photos taken ASAP. Okay, go get some
Okay.
before photos. Just
You got
have
it.
Lisa take some snapshots of you and your shorts, front, back, sides, and that's the starting before photos. And then we're gonna see the changes over time. All right, brother.
Excellent.
All right, so I'm gonna
Excellent.
boogie. Thank you again for today. Peace and love to you out on the West Coast. Give my love to
God
Lisa.
bless you, man. Thank you so
Yeah, I
much.
love you, brother. I'll talk to you later, and
Love you too, man.
I'll wait for you to reach out. At minimum, I'll give you a signal. If I don't hear from you, I will tell you when all this stuff gets published.
And
And
I'm sending you some more sauce too. Don't you worry. I
I'm
got
waiting
some.
for it.
Yeah.
Trust me.
You
I'll
don't
be
you worry.
ready. All right. Peace, brother.
Awesome. Love you, man. Take
Love you.
care. Bye bye.
Bye.